It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today, who is just as busy as you guys, so we're so glad that she came down to visit us. Sadie Bowler is the co-founder and CEO of Sadie B Personal Care. She's been chasing her passion for hairstyling from the age of 10. She built a successful Instagram following by middle school and was styling for weddings and photo shoots by high school. With her sister Abby, she launched Sadie B Personal Care as a freshman in the University of Utah's Lassonde Founders Program. So she's really the same age as many of you here, which I think is really awesome. Sadie B merges her passion for professional quality hair products with her passion for addressing the mental health crisis of teen girls in America. As a public benefit corporation, Sadie B is focused on lifting girls through mentorships for other entrepreneurial girls and by sponsoring and supporting organizations like the UN Foundation's Girl Up. The brand's uplifting messaging flips the script on beauty messaging, prioritizing activities, aspirations, and mental hygiene over physical beauty. So please welcome Sadie Bowler.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I am so excited to be here today and speak to you about something that I am so passionate about. I'm missing my co-founder today, my older sister Abby, but I think I'm just going to start with our brand video. We're having some trouble with the audio, so hopefully you can hear it. But this will just give you a quick introduction and hopefully spark some interest in what I'll be talking about today. So let's start with that. Okay, so like Russ said in the introduction, I started doing hair when I was about 10 years old and had an Instagram account to share everything that I was doing by age 11. So at a very young age, I was immersed in the beauty and personal care industry. I would spend hours watching hair tutorials on YouTube, practicing on my sisters, learning about new tools and techniques, and trying all of the new products. It was something that I loved, and that's why I started sharing it. So I started an Instagram account that I named Hair is My Canvas, which is corny and cheesy, but at age 11, I loved it. And so I started sharing everything I was doing on there. And eventually, it grew into something that was a little bit bigger. I had a few thousand followers and was getting asked by people I didn't know to do hair for their weddings and for their school dances, for other special occasions, photo shoots, stuff like that. So that was kind of my first entrepreneurial experience and why we decided on personal care. This is one of the main components that led us to this idea. And so I'll introduce Abby a little bit also. She, through high school, did a lot of social impact internships. She mainly worked with the IRC, which is the International Rescue Committee. They focus on helping refugees that are displaced and needing help and support as they try and integrate into a new life. And so she worked a lot with them and really found the power of using business as a force for good. So that's something that she's super passionate about. And another component that led us to creating Sadie B. She also grew up as a competitive swimmer, which will play into how we created the products as I explain that further. So there were two pivotal moments and experiences that we had that led to the idea of Sadie B Personal Care. The first was I was in the grocery store with my dad, just our local grocery store. He had run out of shampoo, and so we ran nearby, and there was a limited amount of just women's shampoos, just the big national brands that you guys all know. And so there wasn't very many options, but he looked at a few of them and loud enough so a nearby mother and daughter could hear, picked up two of them and turned to me and said, "Do I want touchable softness or all day shine?" And, we had a good laugh about it, and the nearby mother and daughter laughed with us, and, we got the shampoo and walked away. And as my dad realized that, these claims didn't apply to him, it didn't matter if, as a dad, he had touchable softness or all day shine. He realized that these claims were being aimed at me and other young girls. And so just started conversations by asking questions about, how I felt about these claims. Was this the messaging that was coming from all of the products that I was using? And, just these conversations started. And then, they kind of dropped off. And um, then we had a second experience. My older sister, Abby, and I, and then my dad went on a backpacking trip to Banff, Canada. And so we had a lot of time on the trail to just talk and kind of go further into these conversations that we had had a couple months earlier. And it was on our mind because as we were, collecting everything that we needed to bring on this camping trip, we had to find personal care products like shampoo and conditioner that met the national park guidelines of environmental safety and all of that. So we, were going to REI and other outdoor stores, and the claims were they were completely different extreme. Rather than, these claims focused on helping you achieve a certain look, they were claiming that these products were a shampoo, a conditioner, a laundry detergent, and a dish soap. And so it was just another extreme of claims that were still not super useful or speaking to girls my age or my sister. And so those conversations were frequent on the trail. And eventually, my dad asked my sister and I, what would a personal care brand look like that spoke to you? And then we just started brainstorming. And the first line of product that we came up with that we felt like would connect with us and describe us, speak to what was important to us, was called the Adventurer. So, it was something that we could have taken on this camping trip. It would have kept our hair healthy in, whatever activities we were doing outside. But it would have been something that uplifted us and not in, these crazy claims that were also a dish soap and laundry detergent, or simplifying us to being these people that only cared about what we looked like, but something that spoke to what mattered to us and what we were interested in. So those are kind of the two main experiences that led to this idea. And we left that camping trip really excited about, what we had come up with, and wanted to think of more ways that we could connect and include girls that were interested in different things in the products that we created. But school started. Fall came, and things got busy. It kind of dropped off. And then, my dad is an entrepreneur, and so has been a mentor to my sister and I as we've started this company. But finally, it was about October it would have been 2019, that he asked us, if you want to do this, I will help you do this. And so just pose the question, like, do you want to do this? And my sister and I decided yes, without knowing what we were getting ourselves into. We said yes, like we want to do this. We see a problem in this industry that we're so integrated in, and we see a solution. So from that moment, we hit the ground running and haven't stopped since. These are kind of just a breakdown of some of the steps we've taken over the last 3 years. We had a neighbor that had started his own design branding company. So with our super rough around the edges idea, we stopped him on the sidewalk as he passed our house one day and just kind of told him the gist of what we were thinking. And he was nice enough to invite us to his office and let us pitch our first ideas to them. And that started the process of our industrial design for our bottles, our brand messaging, our voice, our colors, everything that you can think of, we built with them. Simultaneously, we were also connecting with Girl Up United Nations Foundation, formulating the product. So, as I said, my dad is an entrepreneur, and so one of his really good friends is Davis Smith, who is the CEO and founder of Cotopaxi, which I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with. And he is just the most perfect example of using business as a force for good, right? In such a real way of alleviating poverty and all of that. Such an amazing mentor and example. But he had a connection with Girl Up. He was having a meeting with them last minute. They had flown into Salt Lake, and he was, had heard about our idea from my dad, mentioning it to him, and he was like, hey, the Girl Up executive directors are going to be here for about 30 minutes after I meet with them, and then they've got to head to the airport and fly out. But if Abby and Sadie can make it to meet with them really quickly, I think they would love to hear from them. So Abby and I skipped school that day and ran down to Davis's office in downtown Salt Lake and met with them really quickly. The ideas that we shared with them were not nearly as refined as what we launched with this year, but they were so quickly supportive of us, and it was such a good connection to have that, their mission at Girl Up United Nations Foundation is to uplift girls and encourage them to be in leadership positions. And so they were instantly supportive, and that is our main partnership still to this day. We've participated in their global summits. We host workshops with them to help girls learn about entrepreneurship and relay our experience and how we've overcome the challenges that we've faced and all of that. So it's been a great partnership that we continue to work on and be involved with. And then at the same time, we had connected with a formulator. So to formulate personal care products, you connect with someone that knows all the chemistry behind it, right? And there's not very many, you can't patent a personal care formula. So a lot of it is just taking formulas that are already out there and then, applying your specifications. So we tried every product on the market that we thought would resemble what we wanted to create. This picture doesn't do it justice, but we had, you can see on that shelf, just tons of personal care products that we had tried and found the ones that we liked the most, sent those are called benchmarks. We send those to the formulator, and they recreate it with our specifications. So, we wanted some with more moisturization, some specific extracts that serve the functionalities that I'll talk about a little bit later. So that process is going on simultaneously over the last 3 years, and then working with the manufacturer, getting our product to the warehouse, and then finally launching our website in May of this year. So we've only been up and running for a few months, and we're just selling online right now. But we've had so much support from the Utah entrepreneurial community that is so supportive, and just, the support of friends and family, and starting to reach greater audiences, which is so exciting. This is another component, and I'll kind of, really tie down our message. I haven't explicitly said what it is yet. but it has a lot to do with what we call mental hygiene, which is the daily practice of taking care of your mental health. And so through our products, messaging, and partnerships, our mission is to change the dialogue in the beauty and personal care industry to take the focus off of looks and uplift girls and their abilities and accomplishments to support mental health. There's two problems that we are trying to solve. One is a business problem and one is a social problem. The business problem is that the current beauty messaging is harmful and not speaking to Gen Z girls. And the social problem is that teenage girls are in the midst of a mental health crisis. And where the beauty and personal care industry could be helping, it is often doing the opposite. So this is our solution, and we've talked about it. I've talked about it a little bit, but I'll go into more depth. The first part is our products, which focus on girls' activities and interests, and then have functionalities that go along with what girls might be doing in these areas. Products that uplift, serve, and inspire girls to become, that really encourages them to accomplish rather than just simplify them into someone that's just trying to achieve a certain look and meet these unrealistic and unfair beauty standards that are set by the current beauty messaging. And then the other part is the Sadie B therapist. Her name is Sam Dalton, and she's a certified therapist, and she is helping us integrate this mental hygiene message into our website, our social channels, and everything that we do. And through mental health education, helping girls and reaching them, teaching them how to take care of their mental health on a day-to-day basis before they reach this point of crisis. We're rolling out Sadie B in 2 phases. The first is our website, sadieb.co, which is D2C or direct to consumer, just selling on our website right now as we refine the Sadie B messaging, make even more partnerships, and then really gain a greater audience that we can then leverage to roll out into grocery stores, retail mass, places like Ulta, Target, and Urban Outfitters that we can reach girls and share this message to eventually fulfill this mission of changing the dialogue. So I'll talk about the products a little bit more and their functionality. I was really involved in the product development process, and something that was really important to me was the quality. I loved trying all the best products, all the new things, and so I did not want to sacrifice quality as we were making these products. So we call them salon grade, and they're made after formulas that are sold in salons. And so our 4 lines are the creator, which is the purple, the athlete, the adventurer, and the go-getter. These 4 lines have functionalities that go along with what girls are doing in these areas. So for example, the creator keeps your hair healthy when you are styling it with heat, coloring it, braiding it, pulling it up more often. The athlete keeps your hair healthy in the chlorine and the UV rays. It's more clarifying for girls that are practicing, working out, sweating all day. The adventurer is more hydrating for girls spending a lot of time outside, as well as has that UV protection, keeps your hair healthy in the sun. And then the go-getter is our all hair types everyday formula. So as I said, we launched this year in May. And had a successful launch party just soon after in June, where we gathered a large group of Utah entrepreneurs and family and friends to celebrate and help spread the word about our launch. And this is the homepage of our website with our mental hygiene messaging and our main message of being a girl-founded, led, and operated company. Here are just a few of our competitors, and you'll see the messages in the beauty and personal care industry. There are good messages, and one of those is, everybody is beautiful. I think, that's a great positive message, but it's still focused on looks. It's still focused on appearance, and dubbing that as being what brings happiness. And that's similar to what these celebrity brands are saying. The message is positive, but it's often inherently conflicting with itself, when it's saying that beauty is and fame and all of these and money are the things that lead to happiness, when really personal care and mental health is the root of what will help you accomplish and be happier. So I want to talk about my team a little bit more. Obviously, my sister, I've been working on it with her from the beginning, but we also have a lot of other people on our team. We built an adult advisory board and then a girl advisory board. I work with 5 girls every day that help us do everything from accounting to marketing, and they take on these roles and help us refine our messaging to really keep girls at the center of our company, to stay true to our girl founded, led, and operated messaging and all of that. But then a lot of the time we have a lot of questions and don't totally know what we're doing. So that's why we have the Adult Advisory Board of Mentors. That includes Davis Smith, as who I talked about before, and then a few other mentors, Mackenzie Bauer, who started Thread Wallets, and then Jared Allgood, who started an app, and Noelle Bates, who worked at Stance as their VP of marketing for a long time. So just powerhouses that are able to mentor us and really help us do the things that we need to fulfill our vision and mission. So we keep moving forward with everything that we're doing, and after launch, we are taking the next steps to build our marketing plan and figure out how to get the word out there. So a lot of what we're doing is the advertising on college campuses. I love opportunities like this to share our brand message with other students. And so we're doing that on the University of Utah campus with ads that are on the screens all around campus, and then having speaking events and just involving advertising in their entrepreneurial competitions and entering in those and just being super involved there to just spread brand awareness. And then this last month, we got in contact with someone that will be a brand ambassador soon. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see who that is in the coming months. But we're really excited to sign our first brand ambassador. And then we continue to work with Girl Up with their global summits and everything that they're doing to further their mission. We're going to expand our product line into more personal care products. Right now we launched with our 4 lines of 4 different products: shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and body spray. So we launched with those 16 products, but are wanting to expand even more into the personal care areas, things like deodorant and shaving cream and all of that. And then we hope to continue signing brand ambassadors and rolling out college campus campaigns, and then eventually launching with a PR firm that can help us get into retail. So I just wanted to end. There's been so many highs and lows. I was just at a female founder event last night, which is something so incredible about the Utah entrepreneurial community. If you you can find so much support through that. And so I was at this female founder event, and this founder of a huge national design firm now, was just telling about her experience. And she was like, I thought that, you know, starting a business was like climbing a mountain. Like eventually you'd get to the top and then it would just be like coasting down. Like you would just be able to like figure out all the problems, all the boxes would be checked. But in reality, it is it's rolling hills and it goes on forever. It is definitely filled with highs and lows. But the problems become different and a lot of the time feel bigger, but you have even more experience that you can pour into them and solve them. But through the highs and lows of these last 3 years of starting this company, it's really come down to my passion for what we're doing, and Abby too. You know, that's really what fuels our fire when we hit the really hard challenges and the low lows. So just finding something that you're passionate about and finding a solution that you're passionate about is something that can you know, push you forward and bring you success. I'd love to hear any of the questions that you guys have, but I have one thing that I would love your help with. As we further our market research, we're really trying to nail down and figure out who our converting customer is. Who is the person that is clicking checkout and ordering the product? And we're not totally sure yet if it is college students like us that are converting to these products, or if it's younger high school girls, or if it's even younger girls whose moms are buying the product for them. So if you guys, all of the girls, could scan this QR code and take a really brief survey, just answering your questions, or answering questions and telling us about, you know, your experience with buying personal care products and what you use currently. It should just be quick, and it would be so helpful for us to know. We've done it with a bunch of high school girls, and it's so interesting and fascinating to find out, you know, more about this. So thank you so much for your help, and any questions too. I'd love to hear. Yeah. Yeah, so I entered a couple competitions at the University of Utah, actually Opportunity Quest. So things like that. We got a little bit money from there, a lot of family and friends, and then just savings and bootstrapping, all of that. That's kind of how we pulled it together. So, yeah.
What was that small spray bottle?
Okay, that's our body spray. And it's just a little credit card sized bottle. And it's just like a refresh. It's like a diluted perfume, just something that you can take in your hiking bag or your soccer bag or in your backpack during the day and just refresh. And it matches the fragrances in the line of products. So. Oh yeah, and that's something I didn't mention. The fragrances, we have 4 fragrances to match each of the lines. So the Go-Getter is grapefruit floral, the Athlete's vanilla mint, the Creator's berry rose, and the Adventurer's peach citrus. So something that's super unique about our products is we kind of, you know, have this mission, but then hit all of the marks as far as like earth friendly, no harsh chemicals. We have 100% natural fragrances, which is super unique. And then have our bottles made out of recycled material too. Yeah.
What was like the biggest obstacle you found? Was like super unexpected.
I think one of the biggest obstacles has just been probably figuring it out as we go. Like both Abby and I don't know how to start a business as college students, as young girls. I think people just not taking us seriously. And we've found so much support through the right people. But there's definitely been experiences where we're not taken seriously, and we just have to learn as we go. We'll make mistakes and you know, just have to keep rolling with the punches. something that Abby always shares is that when we were going through the design process, she had a habit of like they would present something to us, share their ideas with us, and she would tell them that her favorite part was the part that we liked the least because she didn't want to be mean. And then we would have to come back and be like, oh wait, like we don't like that part. We want it to be like this. And so, just obstacles like how to give feedback and just small things like that we had to learn along the way. So that's probably been one of the biggest challenges, and we continue to face it. And then, yeah, just there's been a few situations where people will say things like, oh, like, that's such a cute little idea. And yeah, it is little still, but we have such a big vision for it to really change the beauty industry. So that's also been a challenge too. Yeah. Yeah.
So you started this kind of in high school. What education are you either pursuing, or what classes did you take in high school? Anything that has helped you, or is it just like trial and error?
Yeah. Yeah, so like Russ said, I'm a student at the University of Utah. I'm a sophomore, and I'm just finishing up the business prerequisites right now, and will declare for next semester, and I think I'm going to do marketing. But right now, I'm taking, operations and supply chain, accounting, finance, management, and marketing, and every single one of those classes is helping me with what I'm doing right now. So, yeah. Yeah.
Have you considered making shampoo and conditioner bars for bath packets?
Yes, we actually have, and we're looking into it for the next round of product development, and trying to figure out how we can, keep quality with that sort of option. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
Sadie, what advice would you give to women in the audience or anyone in the audience who might think, well, I don't have the same network that you do. I don't know Davis Smith. My dad's not an entrepreneur. How do I go about connecting with these people that can help and support me?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, so many, I mean, obviously my dad and then Davis Smith was such a huge connection right off the bat. But I've gained so many other valuable connections simply through LinkedIn. That's how I met Sadie Bowler, who's now one of my board members. And she is, she's an incredible mentor and is so good at gathering women in business. So being connected to that network has just simply come about through being on LinkedIn and reaching out to people there and seeing, when they post about events and all of that. So, and then I would just start too with your, with whoever it expands so much farther than you think it does. And just finding people that specialize in whatever you're interested in, whatever your idea, track your ideas going down. Find someone that specializes in that, whether it's through a friend of a friend, or I think too, the university has been such a huge resource for me in connecting with people and finding the resources that I need. So this is such a great time to start a company and pursue an idea with the backing of a university. So. Was everyone that wanted to take the survey able to? We need the QR code anymore? Okay. Here's our website and Instagram if you want an easy place to get to it. Our Instagram is kind of the main place where we're putting all of our mental health education right now. So if you want to see what that looks like, definitely follow us on Instagram, and stay tuned for the partnership signing and announcement that we'll have coming soon, and all the exciting things. I forgot to put this on the slide, but if anyone is interested in ordering product, I made a code for you guys. So if you just do in all caps SNOW20, you'll get 20% off of your order. So yeah, I think that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, one other question. You mentioned that you're going through Canvas campaigns. How can we help you with snow?
Ooh, good question. I mean, opportunities like this is so helpful. I think any, like posters, places that we can put posters up, or just any advertising opportunities on campus would be great to know about. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions, guys?
How are you managing schoolwork and like running a business?
Good question. Well, I I recently heard Davis speak at an event, and he got asked the question, just like, how do you balance everything? He's also like, he lives his brand. Like, he is an adventurer through and through. He's like always doing crazy stuff, and he's got like 5 kids, and he's the CEO. Anyway, so his answer, which I have adopted, was, it's not really a balance. It is, over time, it becomes a balance. But the day to day, I may only do work for 3 days, and then I'll focus on whatever test I have coming up for the next few days, and then I'll spend time with my family and friends. And so eventually, over maybe a month span, it becomes a balance. But from the day to day, if I try to fit every single one of these things in, work, family and friends, school, taking care of my mental health, and exercise and all of that, it just doesn't work. It's too much to fit into the day to day. So I try and find that balance, over a longer period of time, rather than day to day. So, okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Sadie. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.